Hey everyone, welcome to our making sushi video. We had to do two parts, and here's part one. Enjoy. Hey, welcome back to Lynn and Dan's Kitchen. I'm Dan.
I'm Lynn.
And today we have something a little bit different for you. We've been kind of on a sushi kick lately, and after trying several restaurants and spending a ton of money, we have a couple kids too, and once they developed the taste, that bill started to get a little bit more every time we went. So we decided to kind of take a crack at making it at home, and we had some really phenomenal results, so much so that we decided we're going to share it with you. So today we're going to show you kind of every step of making sushi, starting with the rice, going to frying some shrimp, cutting up some of the raw tuna, some of the other ingredients like cucumbers, avocados that go in the middle. We're going to prep all that, and then we're going to end it up with making a couple of different kind of rolls. One thing we did find by doing it ourselves was that you don't have to stick with the prescribed recipes. You know, just because a California roll looks one way at the place you go or another way somewhere else, you can modify that as you're rolling it even and change things up just to make it a little bit different, to try new things and to change the taste to suit your own palate. So first thing we're going to start with is the rice. So we'll start that now. And you'll be happy to know you can use a regular rice cooker. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is the rice. Now we have a special strainer here that we bought. You don't need this necessarily, but we wanted to have one with very small holes because the sushi rice is slightly smaller than the normal rice. So I'm going to put that in here. Now this here is Nishiki premium grade rice. That's perfect for sushi. It's a medium grain, specially selected rice. I'm opening the rice. We're going to go ahead and use the whole container. This is 4 cups of uncooked rice, and it's going to give us almost 11 cups of cooked rice. So I'm pouring it into the strainer, and what makes this so important is that you have to rinse the rice until it flows clearly. We're going to use cold water. Now the good thing about this strainer with the little holes too is that the water kind of pools up a little bit, which allows it to be clean. And you can see well, I don't know if you can see it, but it's slightly white due to the starch that's being rinsed off of the rice. Okay, all my water is clear now. I can see it when I tilt the bowl, and also by what's running off. So our rice should be sufficiently rinsed. And let this drain off a little bit. And now our rice is ready to put into the rice cooker. Okay, so here's our rice cooker. This is not a special rice cooker. It's got some fancy buttons: white rice, brown rice, saute, steam, and other things. But all you need is a regular rice cooker. Don't let anybody try to convince you that you need one with a sushi button. So we'll go ahead and start. Here's our rice. We're going to dump that in. Remember, this is 4 cups uncooked. And there's some different opinions and recipes as to how much water. 4 cups of uncooked rice, and we're going to put 4 cups of water. So we're going to click the white rice. They beeped, the light came on, and we'll set this off to the side. And it'll beep when it's done, and we'll have a whole slew of rice that we'll mix. Now, the secret to sushi rice is not just using the right Asian or Japanese rice, but also the seasoning. Okay, so here's how we're going to prepare that vinegar seasoning for the sushi rice. It consists of 1 cup of rice vinegar. And I conveniently have all this already measured out, so 1 cup of rice vinegar. 2 tablespoons of cooking oil. I've seen some recipes without the cooking oil, and I kind of cringe every time, or the 2 times now that we've used cooking oil. I feel like maybe we don't need that, but we'll try that out another time. Then we have a 1/2 cup of sugar. And 2 teaspoons of salt. And then we're going to go ahead and turn on our burner. Now we don't actually want to bring this to a boil, we're just heating it up so that we can get the salt and the sugar to kind of dissolve and melt. Once that's done, we can set this off to the side and it can wait until our rice is ready. You know, while I'm stirring this and waiting for it to melt, I sent my wife to the store. I said, hey babe, why don't you get us some Japanese food? And Sushi did. I actually got some giggles this time. Alright, we'll check back once this is heated up a little bit. Alright, we'll stir it again. As you can see, I switched to the back burner. Somebody told me that was more appropriate for this pot instead of the front one. And it's warmed up, and as I'm stirring, you can feel some of the sugar and salt, but it's almost all gone now. And it's gotten clear too when I've kind of spooned through it. So a couple more seconds and this should be done. Alright, I'm not hearing any more of the sugar or salt on the bottom. So we'll go ahead, turn this off, and just set this on the side to mix with our rice as soon as it's done. So in the meantime now, while we're waiting for the rice to cook, we're going to prep some of our other components that we're going to use to make our sushi roll. Okay, so the first thing we're going to prep is some spicy tuna mix. I have a piece of tuna here and some of this sriracha hot chili sauce. This is what they primarily use. There's some different name brands. This is the one to go, the one with the rooster on it. And okay, so what I'm going to do, here's our piece of tuna. Now, I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that this is fresh. We actually bought too much last time, so this one has been frozen. I don't know if I recommend that. You probably want to buy sushi grade tuna, not the kind that's frozen and not from your big box discount store. You want to go to an actual seafood market or maybe an upper crust grocery store that you can be sure you're getting fresh seafood. But this one has been frozen, so that's why we're going to use it to make the spicy tuna mix, because it's a little bit more forgiving. Now I am going to save some to make a couple of tuna rolls, but if you look at the tuna, you can see that there's some veins here. This area would be a kind of a good spot to cut off and use for our spicy tuna, since it's going to get end up getting a little chopped up. So what I'm going to do is kind of cut some pieces off here. And I'm also going to trim this side. So this piece I'm going to use to make our rolls, and actually I'm going to trim this off too. So this will be my main piece that I'm going to use for my rolls, and this I'm going to proceed to dice up kind of as fine as I can. Okay, so now I've diced my tuna as fine as I can be, and we're going to go ahead and use this processor. Transfer our tuna in there. And then the only other ingredient is going to be our sriracha hot sauce. Now you're going to have to kind of get a feel for how much you want to put in there of that. Alright, we'll give it a little taste. And that definitely tastes like tuna and definitely spicy. So I think we are good to go with that. Go ahead and transfer that into this bowl. That's actually pretty good. Alright, so here, this is our spicy tuna. We're going to go ahead and cover this and put it in the refrigerator until it's time to do the rolls. And we're going to cover this too. This will be our piece of tuna that we'll use to slice and also kind of make slithers of to go inside of some of our tuna rolls. So my mouth is already starting to water. I don't know if it's from the sight or from what I tasted, but it was pretty good. And somebody's already licking the bowl out of the camera view that you can't even see. Okay, let's move on. Alright, one more thing before we put this in the refrigerator. We are going to use some crawfish. This is Lynn and Dan's Southern Kitchen. We got to do something at least halfway New Orleans style. So here we have some peeled crawfish meat, and not going to put too much sriracha in there, and just kind of mix up. Our crawfish tails. Alright, all this goes in the fridge, and then we'll see what we're going to do next. Either we're going to prep the vegetables, or we'll fry some of the shrimp up.
Okay, now we're going to prepare the cucumber for the sushi. Some people like them crunchy, and you leave the peelings on if you like it that way. If not, you can peel it. First of all, I'm going to cut the ends off. Then you're going to slice it down the middle. And slice it one more time. Down the middle. On each half. And that way you could cut your seeds out. You just bring the knife up and get the seeds all out. And as you saw, I cut them in half, then I cut them in quarter length so they could fit on the sushi right. And there's your ready for the sushi now.
Okay, now our rice maker has beeped. I'm going to try to get it out as quick as possible because sometimes a little bit of rice burns on the bottom and we don't want that to happen. So now what I have here, since we don't have a true Oriental bamboo bowl to do this in, we have this plastic Rubbermaid. Okay, so now our rice is out of the rice cooker bowl into our container, and we are going to pour on our rice vinegar seasoning. Now, as we're mixing this, we're going to kind of go in a cutting motion, and we're doing that so that the rice doesn't get mushed. We want the rice to kind of stay whole in kernels. Now the rice may appear a little bit wetter than what you think it should be once you've poured your seasoning in, but it's going to absorb that vinegar, and also you're losing some of the moistness in the air as the rice starts to cool off a little bit. Now we don't want it to get too cool, but we've got quite a bit of time. We're not in any rush to make the sushi rolls at this point.
Here's how you cut your avocado for your sushi. You pull this little stem off on both of them, and you take and you cut halfway around, all the way around the avocado. Then you pull it apart to get the pit out. You have to loosen it a little. Okay. Then you're going to take and slice it with the peelings on. And when you pick it up, you can just pull them off. Or you can pull with your knife. Go down like this if you want. And that gets it off too. Okay, I finished cutting them into 1/4 inch pieces to put on your favorite sushi roll.
Alright, next up we're going to prepare our shrimp. Now we've already skewered them on some wooden sticks. That's going to hold them kind of straight so that when they fry they're in a line, which is what we need for our sushi roll. We have a little bit of seasoned flour here. We seasoned it according to our taste. And then these are Japanese breadcrumbs. I'm going to let Lynn take it away and show you how to fry them up, and then we'll place them all on a plate and we're almost ready to make our rolls. Alright, we've got a load of shrimp ready to go into the fryer, and so we're going to do that now. It looks like we're going to have to do this about 3 times to get all our shrimp fried, and here we go. Okay, our last batch of shrimp are coming out the fryer now, so you can see the ones that we have done already. They look delicious. And once we get to the table, or when we start making our sushi, you'll see we're going to use a fork to push them off the stick and lay them on our sushi rolls. So babe, tell us how we know when they're done.
Oh, when you know they're done, they're like a light brown, crisp color.
Now I've heard people say that they float when they're done. Is that happening with these?
These are not floating, I think, because of the batter and the double batter with the Japanese breadcrumbs. It's making it a little heavier, so it didn't float at all.
Probably the sticks too.
And that, yeah, there's weight to it, so it's not floating. But they came out really pretty, crispy.
We have a little audience here behind the camera, and everybody's mouth is just watering.
They're dying for the shrimp. Alright, that's our pretty crispy shrimp for our sushi.
Alright, the last thing we're doing is frying up some of these Japanese breadcrumbs. We're going to use that as a crunchy topping for some of the rolls on the inside and also on the top, since it's a topping. So we're just taking the Japanese breadcrumbs and we're using this little sifter type scoop. That way we can control the breadcrumbs so they don't just sink to the bottom of our fryer.
That's what it looks like. Got the grease drained off.
Okay, so here you can see most of our ingredients, including the rice. There's a couple things not shown, like cream cheese that we pulled out the fridge later, but basically everything's there that you need to start rolling your sushi. Here's some photos of the finished product sushi, which you can see in our video part 2. We ended up with way more footage than what we thought we were going to have, so instead of having an hour and a half long show, I decided to cut it into 2 parts. One where we prepared the ingredients, and then the next part, the more interesting part, is when we actually rolled the sushi. So next you'll see our exit for the video, which will repeat probably in the second one, but that's just how it goes when you're an at-home filmmaker. But appreciate you watching.
Alright, so there you have it. That's our sushi making skills there. I wouldn't say we're professionals, but you can go ahead and refer to me as Daniel's son, and this is Lynn's son. Or maybe there's a different different phrasing for girls, but Daniel's son. And yeah, boy, we can't wait to dig into this. We're going to take a few more pictures for you, so you'll see that. Thanks for watching. You know, the great thing about doing things at home and cooking for yourself is that you're free to be creative and make changes and do some of the things, you know, like what we did tonight. And the kids are waiting, we're all waiting, our mouths are watering, so we're going to go eat. If anybody has any comments, leave them below. Please click the like button and hit the subscribe button. We got some more things coming. It's just, you know, there's only so many hours in the day. So keep an eye out for our future videos. Hit the thumbs up button. And most of all, we do appreciate you guys watching. So thanks a lot. And you have a good one. Bye-bye.
Good night.